What's going on, guys? Knogginator here, back in another video, and today I'm doing another one of these Forza experiment videos. I think this is like the fourth one. We did the wheel spins one, we did the PI system, so I guess this is the third video. So basically, I'm going to make a video on what difficulty you should use, and what I'm going to be testing here is I'm going to be doing a single track, probably something short. I'm going to test it out for all of the difficulties, and we're going to see what the behavior is of the drivatars. You know, in some difficulties do the AI rubber band, which means they kind of all stick together. In some difficulties, does a single drivatar seem to always fall behind, or does a single drivatar always seem to get ahead? And we'll be comparing the times between there, as well as the rewards and credits you get, because that is another factor as well. Obviously, the higher difficulty, the more credits you get. So, I'm going to go ahead and pick out a short race. Alright, this racetrack seems to be fairly balanced. A good enough distance to get a good time. I'm going to have it at class S1. I feel like that's, be best for this. So, yeah, we're going to start off with all the different difficulties here. And I'm going to have my, my notes here for the time / credits earned. Now the credits are going to be same with the time. This experiment's not gonna be perfect. It's gonna vary, because of the different skills and all that stuff. But what we're gonna go ahead and do here is the blueprint I'm gonna be using is anything goes, but we're gonna make it S1 and 1 lap. And that's going to be it. So the car I will be using for all these races, I want something nice and balanced that is already up to the high S class. So let's go ahead and look here. Let's go with this, the Gymkhana 10 Ford Focus. This exterior isn't much of me. It's kind of just, like the times and where I finish for each one, but I'm going to keep the car that I use constant because the cars the AI pick will be based off my car as well. Alright, so we head into difficulty settings. So here's our first thing. We have new racer, which gives you a 40% difficulty. Inexperienced, average, above average, highly skilled, expert, pro, unbeatable. So they all go up by 5% except the expert, pro to unbeatable portion. So yeah, I'm adding it here to my chart. So we have new racer, inexperienced, average, above average, highly skilled, which is the personal difficulty I use, expert, pro, unbeatable. Now at the end of this, I'm going to say, what difficulty should you be using? Obviously, you pick the difficulty that you are comfortable with. But the difficulty I recommend before all these experiments is going to be highly skilled, because that is what Forza bases all of its events on, whether you can beat this certain time at a highly skilled difficulty. So if you get good at highly skilled, then you're going to be looking good. So let's start off with new racer. Now the time that I'm going to be collecting is the average time from the top 3 drivatars. So we don't have just one drivatar, because like I said, we might have one that gets farther ahead than the other. So we'll have the top 3 drivatars. As you see, I'm in 3rd now, so I'm not counted in this. Kind of just racing to obviously do the experiment, but to see where I finish in each difficulty. So as you see, I pass into 1st place very easily here on the new racer setting. I guess I can also put in here like what place I finished to kind of see what my difficulty is. But I believe the difficulty you should be using is a difficulty where you're not going to win every race, but a difficulty where you can finish in the top half. So you should be able to finish in the top, if it's 12-man race, you should be able to finish in the top 6 in pretty much every race, but it's still going to be a challenge to get first and still a challenge to get a podium. I think that's the best way you can do it. So that's gonna be the end of the race. So for a new racer, I'm gonna put that I finished in first. And the average time for the next 3 best drivatars is going to be, okay, so we have a 111, 112, 112. They're both low 112s. So the average is going to be a 111.8, 0.800. And let's see what kind of credits we get here. 7,066 for the credits. So that is on New Racer. Let's go ahead and head to Inexperienced. Alright, so here we are. Gonna get the 5 more percentage. So we should see, you know, maybe somewhere in the mid 7,000s for the credits. But let's see if the average drivatar time gets quicker. And if I still get first, which we're now here. All about my driver skill as well. So I'll talk until we get into first place, if we get into first place. Right off the bat, I can tell the drivatars are definitely a little bit more racy. Like, they know what they're doing. This is about where I passed them last time, and I'm not in first yet. So you can definitely tell that the difficulty is raised a little bit. Once again, my car is not to the top of S-Class, but I'm keeping it constant. So yeah, let's just go ahead and sim to the end here of this race and kind of see what we're looking at. Alrighty, here we are. I don't know if I got a better time. Okay, so they got a 111, a 110, and a 110. But I still gotta put that I got first here. So the average lap time for them is 11.4, 10.8. It's gonna be 11.2, then we add a 10. Okay, so we're gonna say it is basically 11 flat, 111 flat. So a 0.8 of a second increase in the average time for the top 3 drivers, and we get 7,213. So the money from that change of difficulty is definitely not worth it. But either way, we still got first. But they did increase in 0.8 seconds. So that is actually, if you think about it, that is actually a pretty big difference from difficulties. If you think about it in racing terms, you know, a second's a long time in racing, and they pretty much gained a second. So let's go ahead and see how much better it is on average now. Alrighty, here we are. On to average, we now get the 50% bonus increase. So going into the car. Okay, here we go. Will we still get first on average difficulty? Don't know. I'm confident that I can finish it first. Doesn't mean we will. So yeah, I'm trying my best not to interfere with the drivatars, but when they don't drive like they brake when they shouldn't be braking, you know, that's some things that we can't fix. So little caution here. I don't know how long this video is going to be. It's all for science, so it's going to take as long as we need to. Feels just like last race where I'm about to pass them towards the same area, but it's getting harder and harder to pass, obviously, the higher up we go in the difficulty. So we actually have a little bit of a race here for this guy in first place. And you notice we start in the pretty much all these races here, especially in Unbeatable, we always start in the back, but it appears we start in the back here. So it took a while to get there, way longer than it did last time. And in fact, this drivatar is going to get a really good score. But I don't think I'm going to beat my 104. I might. Yes, looks like I will. So I still get first. Add that to the spreadsheet here. And the average drivatar time is going to be, we have a 107.8, a 108.6. That's going to be about a 108.3, and then 108.2. So we're going to say a 108.5. So we just had a 2.5 second decrease in time. That is crazy from those two difficulties. And let's see how much money we get. 7,360. So once again, the money is definitely not there, but wow, there's actually a way bigger difference than I thought there would be from inexperienced to average, because we saw from new racer to inexperienced it went 0.8 seconds quicker, but 2.5 second increase from inexperienced to average. Does that mean we're gonna get that big of an increase for above average now? I don't know. Let's go ahead and figure that out. So out of the 8 difficulties so far, let's go ahead and head to the 4th one, which is going to be above average, and a 55% credit increase. Yeah, credits, they are not worth it compared to how much quicker the drivatars are for each one. Yeah, let's see how big the difference is going to be here, and if we even get first. I don't know if we're going to get first this time. Like I said, I play on highly skilled or expert, really depends. Depends on the race and stuff and how cheeky drivatars are. But I should be fine to get first. But then again, I don't know because I start in last pretty much every race. So you have to make up the time, and this isn't the best vehicle for that. Completely wall riding here. I don't mean to do that, but yeah, let's keep going. It's definitely getting a lot harder. I'm not getting first this race. I'd have to be closer than what I am right now. These drivatars are really going quick now. So we've got to the point where I'm not going to be winning every race, yet I should still be getting in the top 3 and stuff. Try to pass this guy on the outside. There we go. Oh, I got the acceleration. Oh, I can still go first here. Threading the needle. Okay, how about that? Somehow I got first there with a 103. So we finished first in the first half of the difficulties. The average time looks like it's going to be 106.5, so it's going to be about a 106.9. So that is once again it's not a huge of a difference as it was, but 1.6 seconds. That's still a very large difference. So from the easiest difficulty to the medium difficulty, being above average, there is a 5.1 second decrease. So does that mean there's going to be a 5.1 second decrease from highly skilled to unbeatable? We'll have to figure that out. I actually didn't check how much money I got. I'll go ahead and add that to the spreadsheet after I edit it. But I would assume, based on how things are going right now, it was probably like 7,410 or something, or 7,430. That's going to be my guess. But just by the way that things are going, we're only gaining like 100 credits. It's definitely not a lot. So, yeah, let's head into highly skilled. Alrighty, here we are to highly skilled, the difficulty I personally use, because, like I said before, it's a difficulty where it challenges me every race to the point where I'm not getting first all the time. And I have some variation. It really makes me use a car that I'm confident in and stuff. So, I don't think I'll get first. Like, I usually don't get first, but you know, I'm just saying right now, I'm not the best driver, but this video isn't on my skill. It's about the drivatar difficulties, so just keep that in mind. So as of right now, it actually, for some reason, it feels like it's easier to pass these guys on highly skilled. I mean, I was in 5th at this point last race, and now I'm in 4th. So, not saying highly skilled is easier. Some difficulties also make it harder to pass people and stuff, but they're definitely getting passed up on here. So the drivatars are going to crash into each other and let me get by. That'd be really nice, actually. Go up on the inside here. And there we go. So we're going to get first yet again. This car isn't even that good, to be honest, for this track, but first place, you got a 102. And that means we add first to our spreadsheet here. Avatar time is going to be a 106.4. So here's our difference. There's only a 5/10 difference from highly or above average to highly skilled, which is quite interesting. 7,600 here, so yeah, I was probably right on the 7,430. So for some reason, yeah, highly skilled felt easier to pass, and the drivatars were only 5/10 quicker. So what could that mean for expert? I don't know. Let's go ahead and try that one now. Alrighty, here we go from highly skilled to expert. The third hardest difficulty, 6th easiest difficulty on the list here. Let's go ahead and try it out. Starting in 8th like usual. Alright, so the guy on the inside is definitely a lot more aggressive. These guys might be more aggressive here. Like I said, sometimes I play on high skilled, sometimes I played on expert. Pretty much go in between the two. I'm not a hardcore unbeatable racer like some other YouTubers, but play the game casually for fun. You know, get the challenges done, make videos, stuff like that. More of a content creator than a driver, so we're actually in 4th again, just like we were on high skilled. For some reason, above average was harder at the beginning parts of the races. Will we still get 1st? Not so sure. It does not appear that I will. The guys are farther up than they were previously. So a non-podium finish, as it seems, although maybe not. We could get the inside here. Yes, I get the inside line. Might be able to out-drag him. Ooh. So I got 3rd. So there's our first big difference. We didn't get 1st. The average drive-atar time is going to be about a 105.4. That seems about right. A 105.4, so that is a 1 second exact, a 1 second difference in the times. So 7,645. We only gained 45 more credits on that difficulty. So that is definitely not very good. We are now going to have to go check out the pro difficulty, the 2nd hardest. Will we get a podium finish? Here we go, from expert to pro. I think we'll see the biggest credit difference on Unbeatable, because it's a 10% difference, but it's also, you know, we get credits based on how we finish as well. So if it's harder to finish at a higher spot, it's kind of actually a gimmick. You know, if it's harder to finish higher up, then you get those credit differences, but it's not actually any more credits. As we saw last time, we only got 45 more credits. 45 is nothing. It's like getting 40. No, it's not even 45 cents. It's like getting 4 pennies and a half. So really not worth anything. Here we go again. Halfway up the charts now. We might get a sub 1 minute, these drivatars here. Compared to the beginning when they got a 111, I mean, that's huge, but that's kind of what you expect for the different difficulties, obviously. So far, I haven't noticed. The one thing I've noticed about the behavior of the drivatars is that they haven't really got any more aggressive as we've gone on. Only above average seem to get aggressive. But what I did notice is that there's been this pack of 3 that have always been in the front, basically. And those have stayed like that for all of the different difficulties, and we're going to go ahead and get 4th on the pro difficulty. So 4th place there compared to the 3rd of last race, and the average speed here is going to be about a 105.2, which is only a 2/10 difference. Let's see if the money is any better. We're going to get 7,709. So once again, that's like nothing. That is just 60 credits more than last. So we only have one more difficulty to test this out on, and it is going to be unbeatable. So let's go ahead. Alrighty, here we are. You've made it to the end of the video. If you are watching at this point, the end of this Forza Science on Unbeatable. One thing I do know about Unbeatable is that you start in dead last, and there's always a guy in first place that does really, really good. So will I even finish in the top 6 on this? Not even sure. Drivatars, of course, are much quicker, much more racy, as you would expect. I mean, those guys in the front are not going slow at all. They're definitely going up there. I'm in 6th. I'm usually about 5th or 4th at this point, so definitely tell the speed difference. Everybody's kind of in that single file. You can see on the minimap that no one's really strong ahead. That's what you usually see on Unbeatable. But we'll see if we can kind of get past on that same turn that we always get past on, because the computers don't know how to take that turn for some reason. You think with all these different AIs that they'd be able to, you know, figure that out, but will we see a 10-second increase from New Racer to Unbeatable? We'll have to see at the end of this. Definitely didn't get that quick of a time, and we're gonna go ahead and finish in 6th. So here we go, 6th place. The average time is going to be 103.4, 102. We're gonna say 103.2. So that's gonna be a 2-second difference for Pro and Unbeatable. So, but that's a lot. Let's see the credits. Any difference? 7,829. So here you made it to the end of the video. Let's go ahead and explain everything. So the overall difference in credits from New Racer to Unbeatable on that track was from 7,066 to 7,829. So only 800 credit difference, even though the huge multiplier. So credits debunked are not worth it for difficulty. The average time for a New Racer was a 1.118 for the podium drivers. And for Unbeatable, it's a 1 minute 3 seconds 0.2. So an 8-second difference from the highest difficulty to the lowest difficulty on a very quick track. On New Racer and through highly skilled, so the first 5 difficulties, I finished 1st. On Expert, I finished 3rd. Pro, 4th. Unbeatable, 6th. So now you're probably wondering, you know, the differences in between each. So very quickly, from New Racer to Inexperienced, it is a 8-second quicker. 8-second quicker. From Inexperienced to Average, it is 2.5 seconds quicker, which is actually a lot when you think about it. From Average to Above Average, it is 1.6, so a shorter difference in between those two averages there. From Above Average to Highly Skilled, it is only 0.5 seconds quicker, so that is the lowest actually. And I wouldn't think it would be, because like I said, Forza revolves everything around this highly skilled difficulty for all their events they do. From highly skilled to expert, it is a exact 1 second difference, and actually expert to pro, it is a 0.2 second difference, so not a whole lot there at all. But from Unbeatable to Pro, it is a 2-second difference. So that is the end of this. I'll see you guys next time. If you have any comments about this or anything, you know, you want to add on, I'd love to hear it. And I'll pin the most helpful comment for these difficulties. And if you guys have tried some other experiments, you know, on other tracks, of course I only did this on this track. So yeah, see you guys next time, and peace.